Chase success with Global.Media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or...
So we begin.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, Annie. Happy New Year, by the way, to everyone, to you, and I've spoken to you already this year. So
yeah, it's a happy New Year.
Everyone, to you,
Oh no, she fell off. Where did she fall off to? She went somewhere else. I don't know where. Where'd you go? Did you go on the train?
I don't know.
No,
Something happened. I don't know what happened.
I must
First
have.
of all, you're fine.
I don't know why.
This is the New Year, new look, right?
No, I'm still not hairy. There is no hair. I'm still grey.
You are fine. You're fine. How are you?
I'm all right. So my workshop's on Monday, so I'm doing.
Are you still in that place? That place we must not mention, as causing you all that grief.
Hell. It's we're making progress. We're making progress. I'm still stuck.
Yay!
My kids.
We like progress.
So I'm just stuck in my kid's chair. It's rather odd. I realize I can't stand up. Yeah.
You're stuck in what?
Because I'm not at home, my setup is not my setup.
I can imagine. Where's the beautiful backdrop that you normally have?
Yes.
All I'm seeing right now is
my standing desk and all that.
It's at home, right?
No, yes, that's all at home. So I don't get to have that.
Is it not a travel standing desk?
No.
Oh, okay. No, okay.
I'm sure it don't mean unscrewing the whole thing and then putting it back up again. No, we're not doing that. I mean, the first time was bad enough, right?
Can you not have a spare that you can carry around?
I'm not a great DIY make things.
Traveler saying yes.
I can do stuff. I don't like making things.
That's not making something. That's just putting something together.
That's making something. Flat pack. I don't know flat pack. I just don't. Something always goes wrong, right?
Oh dear.
Why? You got 4 screws.
Make it sound so painful.
You got 4 screws, 3 going just fine. Then 1 decides that it's going to be
diagonal.
So then now, what could have taken you 10 minutes, taking you 3 hours?
Yes.
And by which time I want to have a nap, and I'm just thinking, no. Anyway, so my wife does the flat pack stuff, so I don't bother with that stuff.
Okay. So I think she did all the cuts then when the babies have been born.
I couldn't even tell you whether they were made or not. That's probably a way of saying yes. He did all that. I didn't do any of that stuff. We
get it.
It's fine. No, life is good. My workshop on Monday, Christiana.
Excuse me. Sorry, I was busy sneezing.
My workshop for my friends. Dr. Paula.
Yes. How are you guys doing? What's happening?
It's going. So we have a strategy action plan for 2026 workshop.
So how many are destined to be there?
I'm at 7 so far, and they've actually paid the money. I'm like, wow.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited.
Excited for you.
I'm happy where we are.
Okay.
Of course, we always want more, don't we?
Yeah, we do. But I think sometimes it's good like that because those who are coming are serious.
Yeah.
And they will make you feel like it was worth doing and they got value.
Exactly that. And it is that the people that are coming. So I made sure, it's my friends I'm inviting, especially.
Yes.
Yes, I'm inviting others, but my friends, we tend to have a conversation. So I'm trying to find those who can really benefit. They're the ones who are going to get value because they're the ones who are going to go away and implement their business side.
Yes, exactly. To make it even better for 2026. And it's
not just like that. Look, my mission this year is to transform a life. Of course, more than one would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, so this workshop is part of that in terms of many people have big ideas. They've had big ideas for a long, long time.
Mm.
So now's the time to, but now maybe they don't know how to implement the idea. They don't know how to make, how to work in these steps to take.
Yes.
So, I'm saying, right, now's the time, let's plan out your journey. And give you the steps you're going to take tomorrow, next week, the week after. Maybe even in December, January 2026.
Yes.
Right. So no, it's a proper action plan, and those who implement will see a difference in everything in their
I
business.
think so.
So
Yes.
that's the aim.
Happy Thursday, Zion says. So
Yeah.
we're busy chatting away. We didn't even. Hi guys, Happy New Year! If you're here with us,
Yeah. How are you doing?
we're busy chatting away. Happy New Year, Zion. Hey, bro. Welcome, welcome. It's so good to see you here. Happy New Year. I hope you had a wonderful. In fact, we've actually kind of messaged each other, so I think the answer is yes. But I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and New Year celebration. For those joining us today, we're so thankful for you being here. Welcome. Let us know in the chat where you are joining us from. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm kind of listening whilst I'm talking at the same time. So we've got
Happy New Year, Zion. Hey,
What do you listen to yourself?
let me I didn't mean to my finger pressed the button by accident. Oh my goodness. So today's about chatting. Zion, you should come up on stage and join us. Let's have a convo. Don't just sit in the audience. Come and join us on stage.
Have you sent the link to him?
No, I haven't. Let me do that now.
Yeah. So I think I put the link on the event page. I think.
Let's drop that in the comments section.
I have many event pages, so
You have?
just let me do the right thing. So go to Christiana's message. And copy it. Just sent to Christiana, which is useful. This thing saved me thinking. You see.
It does. I find that quite interesting. You know.
What you've done it once. Anyway, what's new with you? How are you doing? What's new in 2026?
What's new with me? I've had towards the end of last year, I had some good clarity. And from the start of this year, I'd hit the ground running, working on the clarity that I've had. As you know, you and I have a conversation behind the scenes, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
I want to ask a question. What you've been up to?
We won't talk about that here. However,
Thinking, it's not like I don't know already.
but when it comes to the business, Zion, where are you? Come and join us.
Maybe
So
the internet's not allowing him to join. Okay.
So when
That's what's going wrong. I'm putting the link on Christiana's page, and I realized, okay, the link is there already.
He puts it in the main page, the event page.
Yes, it's there. Okay. So the other event page I looked at with Christiana there doesn't have the link there, so I put it there as well. Except that event is from November 27th.
Huh?
Yeah, that was me why.
What's that about? Any?
That was our last event, I think.
It was what? Was it our last event?
Yeah, before Christmas.
Did we not have an event last month? No, we didn't, did we?
No, apparently not.
Because you were too busy and I was too busy. We just thought it. We're just gonna enjoy December and have no events.
Okay,
Sometimes
so
we
you
need
have greater clarity.
Clarity. It was about clarity last year. So I'm currently just working from my point of clarity, and this year I've decided I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to ask for lots of help. That's the one thing that I don't do enough of, because we always think that other people, I do anyway, other people have things to do. Why am I bothering them? I don't want to be a burden on other people. Would they have time to do X, Y, and Z? And even if you're paying for it, would they have time? Would they give me that attention I need? Would they? It's just all the, will they? But now I've said to myself that this year I'm going to be asking. The worst that can happen is no, right?
Yeah.
So yes.
What's the worst that can happen?
No, the worst that can happen is a no.
Right. I agree. I said that's not as bad as it sounds.
And I'm also one of the things I really want to do this year. There's so many things I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about design, creativity, and so much more. One thing, as you know, I love to do, whether you pay me or not, is what I'm doing right now, but also working with young people. Hence the reason why my toes are always dipped somewhere with young people, either in a school, either primary, secondary, adult education, from 16 to 18-year-olds or 16 to 24-year-olds. And that's something I want to continue to do. I have a few thoughts of projects that I want to see come to fruition outside of, my business and work. So, yes.
Nice. Wow. It sounds like a lot of work you're going to be doing.
It shouldn't be a lot of work. The reason I say that is going back to what I said previously, is asking for support when you need it, doing more delegation, and being able to quickly respond when you delegate and respond to what you delegated. If your input is needed, then doing that as soon as possible. So yes.
Interesting. It's gonna be a big year. That's important.
What about you?
It's gonna be a big year. Look, I said that it's a year of doing. It's a year of, I call it the year of more. A year of more impact. The year of more
More open doors.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe it's more a year of saying yes to myself. I think that's what it is really. We say we all have ideas. So far too often we are beaten down by the what ifs. Again, this is not new. It's not a new ending. It's the same ending. Just
is it saying yes to yourself or yes to others or both?
Both. Yes to others only when it's only when it's aligned with what I want to do.
Of course.
And what I want to do is create, like I say, create that difference.
Yes.
Support someone's journey to greatness, right? So, so we didn't like to say the workshop is just a start, of course, doing more of these events. And maybe also changing how we've been doing these events. I guess, we had a year of
definitely
live streams now. So, I would say I'm on a mission to find a way to make the events even more rewarding for my friends like you, Christian. The question I ask myself is, how do we get more people who want your help, who you can help, right? That's what I call target. We need to get targeted people in our rooms, not just anyone. No, so it needs to we need you talking to the right people that you can help. Whether that's individuals, men or women.
yes.
Whether it's business owners or business managers who call you to come and speak to the staff.
I dropped something. Give me 2 seconds.
I hate you. You can still hear that, can't you?
Of course.
Okay. Again, so whether that's people who want to come and train the staff Either way, I think I would like my events to be able to attract more of the right people, my friends. That's that's where I am. That's where I am really. Exciting times. I said the workshop is one.
I agree with. Oh my goodness! I didn't realize my T-shirt was so shiny this evening. It's full on shiny.
You're shining. You're radiating.
I am shining. It says love. I come tonight with love, right? So I agree with you. I think this year there has to be a shift in the way that we do things. There has to be more gigs, more wins that comes out of this year. Because I think we've been doing this long enough now for us to be able to say, okay, where are our people that really people benefit from this, but it's really extending that beyond it's just being on a live stream or it just being my DMs. I think I spoke to you last year briefly about wanting to tap into offline. And I began the process last year, so towards the end of last year. So this year, that is my focus for both online and offline, and hosting events to ensure that happens.
Yeah, I like that. I guess that's IRL, as they call it, right? Doing more in real life.
Yes.
As well as on here.
As opposed to being a statue.
Who's Subtest PW? I have no idea.
I don't know. I just realized we're not on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, are we? We're on YouTube.
No, well, Zion's on LinkedIn, so we must be on LinkedIn.
Oh, that's I'm streaming this to my YouTube as well.
Yeah. Well, that's where your friends are joining us from.
Who's just joined us?
Let me tell them my LinkedIn.
Subtest PW.
Oh, I love my grade look. Sorry, I have to mute myself.
Okay, say hi. The person saying hi. Can you let us know who you are and where you're joining us from, please? Subtest. At Subtest.
She has a habit of pulling those funny faces. And that's in real life as well. You. What do you think? The Queen Mom? The one that sat next to you?
Wait. My twin sister. The visible one.
That one. Yeah, Cristiano, she always puts funny faces when she doesn't agree with you. I don't know. There's something
mia lingua italiana. She speaks Italian.
See,
buonasera.
Do you remember audio days?
Yes, I do. I loved audio days. It was stripped away from us. That was perfect.
The audio used to translate the text for you, didn't it? Audio had a translation feature. And we translate our conversations into any language you want, and anyone's conversations into your language.
But it's okay. I understood what she said, and don't panic.
I don't know whether to let you carry on speaking Italian because it can't get any better, Christian. As well. It can only get worse. If I let you loose, I'm just talking Italian. Confuse everyone.
Can you imagine? I would confuse people like, what show are we on today? Or better still, I'll just speak my mother tongue. They'll be like, what's going on?
Really, we will
really throw people off.
There's more people here, so my friends, now do say hi. We do want to acknowledge you, welcome you.
Yes, please do say hi. Happy New Year to you all. Thank you for being here. You guys are fantastic. I wonder if Keith is going to join us today. The brilliant and wonderful Kiefer Allen. Yeah.
Is Kiefer Allen back on LinkedIn?
I don't know, but he sent me a message. No, he liked the post, so he must be back on LinkedIn.
Okay, I've seen him for a while. I think Keith used to be He was very, what's the word? Yeah, he was very present in many of our events.
Yes, he was. I'm not sure what
Like
happened to him.
this time last year, he was, we saw him a lot. I don't know whether this time last year, it was all over video.
We
And
did.
then suddenly Keith disappeared.
Why,
Yeah.
Keitha? You just left us. You
It'd be
left
great.
us. You were gone.
It'd be great if we came back.
Do you know, I have his number. I should have really sent him a message.
Yes.
Did you send him have you got his number? Did you send him
It's not my
an
WhatsApp.
invite?
But Keith just ignores me these days. So it's me he doesn't like.
No,
I'm joking.
what did you do, Annie? You know,
I'm just being myself.
unintentional offender.
I just stay myself. And
Oh my goodness. Okay,
it
so
was for a while until my friends realized he really is that person, and then I never hear from him ever again. It's not true. It's not true.
no, it's not true, Annie. I would have disappeared from you by now if that's the case. That's not the case.
Exactly. You're still here, so I'm gonna be all right. And then never mind that you're a masochist.
Come now. Stop playing around. Stop your wishful thinking. It could be arranged.
This is Cristiano, right? Hello, Nikki. How are you?
Hi, Nikki. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Oh, I've not met Nikki before, really. So it's my first time of encountering Nikki. No, I haven't.
Nikki again, Nikki.
Nice to meet you.
It's a cycle. The Nikki was here a lot. By this time last year, I think the audio just started, and then Nikki's been here intermittently more than Sakina. She has been here. We'll see her. We'll see her every so often. But so I'm glad you're here. Hope life is going. Also,
Great.
Let's have our conversation.
Let's have our show, right? So welcome everybody. Sorry, the apologies. We're 20, almost 23 minutes in, and we've talked about life and putting the world in order. So thank you so much for being here. It is such a pleasure once again to see you guys here, for you to join us. If you haven't heard me say it already, happy New Year, or compliments of the season to you guys. We are back on track to bring you more goodness this year with a slight twist and changes to the show we bring you this year. We've been doing this for over a year now, almost 18 months of doing this show consistently. And we believe we have such an amazing, wonderful, brilliant community that brings so many things, so many topics, so many stories to the table for us to talk about, and for hints and tips and everything in between to happen, and even having some, real live stories here that we not dissect, but really listen to, hear, offer, support, offer real tips, offer real, solutions. So thank you so much. I cannot do this without you. Any cannot do this without you. So we are so grateful that we get to bring a show of this nature to you guys. So once again, thank you for joining us from LinkedIn or YouTube. Please let us know who you are and where you are joining us from. We will truly appreciate those. Appreciate you guys. And if you happen to be on LinkedIn and you appear as LinkedIn user, when you make a comment, please ensure that you put your name next to your comment. So when it comes on the live stream and introduce yourself, we'll know who you are. Thank you so much. So I'm going to kick off the reason why we're here. For as long as I've been doing this show, we really have focused a lot on women. And that is not a bad thing. We also spoke about men. We also spoke about men previously. But again, I bring these topics and these things to you, depending on what's happening behind the scenes, which conversations I encounter, which friends I'm speaking to, or who approaches me in my DMs, this comes to you and the topics come to you based on what is happening behind the scenes and what I'm doing behind the scenes. So last 3 months ago, we lost our great niece. And I really couldn't help but watch how our nephew was experiencing this trauma, and he couldn't speak because most of the attention was on the mother. Before that happened, I'd been thinking about doing our shows to really give men, the floor, because it's been a lot about women last year. And so before Christmas, I kept saying to myself, back in September, October, I kept saying to myself, I need to find a way to focus on men, to think of what topics to bring and so on and so forth. So when we experienced this bereavement, I said to myself, maybe I should think about and bring it a lot sooner. I should really think about focusing on men and thinking of the topics that we can do for the new year. And then I had a DM dropped. A friend of ours, and Annie, you know this friend already, a mutual friend of ours, Paulette, such a darling, forwarded a post on LinkedIn of a gentleman who was speaking about the loss of their 31-week old pregnancy, so miscarriage. And so I really began to think, perhaps this is a sign that I should start the year with focusing on men. And that's the reason why we are here today. In my practice, what rings through is men can sometimes be unseen. In fact, most of the times they're unseen, both physically, and when they're present, they can sometimes struggle to express their emotions. And I have watched, the women in couples. So in couples, the women watch their men and look so surprised at what they're coming up with, because in that moment, they realize that they haven't even fathomed or given thought to what their spouse or what their partner is coming up with. And it's interesting to watch the dynamics change and to watch the expressions, sometimes a shock on the women's faces when they see, in fact, when they hear what the men are saying or what they disclose. And so here we are. The first thing to say is, I've had men say to me, I feel like a stranger in my own home. I feel isolated. I feel as if I cannot express myself. I have to really keep an eye on my wife. I have to really support her. I have to ensure that she's okay, she's protected, and be there for her. And my question, quite often than not, is, so who is there for you? Who is the person or the people or the networks that are doing the things that you are doing for your partner, your spouse, your wife, whichever language you choose? And I'm met with silence. Sometimes it's well, I have this person. And then we find out that person that they haven't really spoken to them or confided in them in the way that we are now having, a dialogue. And I really understand that as women, because we embody the child, or the pregnancy rather, we spend all the time, there's so much to think about, our hormones all over the place. But I'm going to say this as someone who has experienced this journey myself more than once, is that we sometimes forget that the journey began with two, and it must continue with two. And so when a loss occurs, it must be both parties that are in the journey together. And don't get me wrong, men grieve so differently from women. I get it, I understand it. And we can do our own grieving kind of separately. But in a couple situation, I always encourage my couples to come together and have conversations, and be able to be open and honest with each other. Some of the reasons that men feel like strangers at home, especially, as well as the workplace, is the lack of emotional expression and support that they get. For some men, when a trauma like this happens, they have the in-laws come in, and the in-laws usually focus on the woman. And so they begin to feel unheard, unseen, and in isolation, which, by the way, isn't a good thing. So I think I'm just reading what, hi Jay, welcome, Happy New Year. I'm just looking at what Nikki said. Men sometimes, hi Jay, men sometimes feel like they aren't supposed to lean into their feelings of loss, even if it is an unborn baby. Not too many people even consider the unborn child's fathers because of catering to, let me finish what she said, catering to the needs of the mother. And I do agree with you, Nikki. And I do see this in my practice. And we have to really remind women to be the shoulders for their men to cry on. And for them to be allowed to cry. It is not weakness for men to cry. It's not weakness. I think growing up, it was seen as, oh my goodness, why are you crying? You're a boy, just pull yourself together. Excuse me, pull yourself together. Some of the comments I heard, she was carrying a baby, but actually it's both of our dreams. And I speaking to those who, for them, like some of my clients, for them, this is the whole icing on the cake. They have the career, they have the house, some of them even have businesses, they have everything they need. And this journey is about coming together and starting a family, and sometimes growing a family, and what happens is their emotions, their feelings are kind of left behind. Happy Thursday, Lisa. Happy New Year, Lisa. So good to see you here. Welcome and thank you for being here. Yay! Our menopause doctor is in the house. Welcome. Alaveen. Oh, so nice to see that smile. Welcome. Happy New Year. You look so good. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Yes, so yeah, I would love you guys to come on stage. Let's have a conversation. Come join us in the studio. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. I don't really bite. Okay, so you know me, my usual stats. 1 in 4 women will experience miscarriage, and usually that comes as a couple. So when we speak about, and this is the thing as well, we speak about is 1 in 4 women will experience a miscarriage. When we think about it, that journey includes and involves a man. But we don't talk about our men in the stats. We do know that 1 in 8, couples experience fertility challenge or challenges. For some, it's multiple challenges. And so once again, there's that absence of including the men in our journey. Even when you go to healthcare practitioners, when you go to your appointments, the men sit there quietly. Women are the ones who, the healthcare practitioner, doctor, OBGYN, or your gynecologist, as we say over here, will be directing their questions and directing their conversations to the woman, forgetting there's a man sat right next to her. And I can speak to this because I have personally experienced it. And I had to keep pulling my healthcare practitioner back into ensuring that she does address both of us equally. And if that's happening in a space where both should be supported, could you imagine? We have this thing in society where men are meant to be the strong ones, they're meant to be the macho ones. For you to cry in public as a man is something shameful. But I'm so pleased that in recent times we have witnessed men who have been bold enough to say, actually, my mental health matters. Because ultimately, this trauma has an impact, and it has an impact on our mental health and our emotional stability, psychological health. It has a huge impact, spiritual health. That's why it's so important that we do take into consideration the men when we are helping, supporting, or in a place to help and support anyone, any couple, any woman who is experienced, and any man who's experienced this trauma. I'm going to pause for a moment. Annie, are you with us? You're muted.
I like being muted half the time.
You're not loud.
So I do want to acknowledge Nikki's new book. Congratulations, Nikki. It's back now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, now the book is done. What's the book about? Is it a poetry book? I think that's what you were working on last year, right? That's how you get that. You got a book? How are you going to sell the book? Are you going to get the book to impact more people? Anyway, come to my workshop. Let me say that first, right? Christiana, the topic is always a sensitive one, right?
It is.
The world doesn't want to. Does the world not want to? I think, like Nikki said, like everyone said, most people focus on the woman, and I guess for most men, that's how it is. It's neither a good or a bad thing, because obviously most right-minded men, they want their other half, their partner, their mother, to get. I don't know whether it's society or people don't have the capacity to serve both. I don't know if that's the issue, really. I say that because very often the man's family will ignore them and focus on the woman too.
The in-laws.
Yeah.
The in-laws.
I mean, her family will focus on her, and we'll say rightly so. His family will focus on her as well, and we'll say rightly so. So
I don't.
Sometimes
I don't. I do not.
The man gets ignored and forgotten in the midst of all of this.
But I have to ask the question: what's that all about? Why are you being ignored? Because even in employment, so we have that happening at home, and then we go into employment spaces. A survey that was done by Workplace Strategies in 2022 showed that only 26% of employers would even touch miscarriage and baby loss in a workplace and give specific bereavement leave for that purpose. And in that 26%, that's women and not men. And the men are not even looked at at all. The men are not given the space to be able to have a conversation, or employers need to first. I mean, I've been saying this since 2023, right? Employers need to really foster a space at work that allows people to feel comfortable to come and share. One of the worst things that I hear and see that happens is when you have someone that's going through this kind of bereavement and they're asking to see HR, and I'm not saying it's all HR, managers or partners or personnel that does this, is when you are looking to sit down with that person to really talk about what support you need. They have fully booked in another meeting, alongside your meeting. Therefore, in a place to rush that meeting or to make you feel like you've got to now be quick about what you're saying, that for me is so insensitive. Like, who does that? Where is your heart? Is there a heart? Is there a heart where a heart should be? Is it ice? Like, seriously. And so for me, it's that thing of, how do we stop that from happening? Let's look at humans. No, let's look at our workforce and teams as humans first, instead of as productivity first. Because ultimately, that's what's happening.
It's a hard one, it's a really hard one.
It is a hard one.
I can understand that for small businesses, we have enough to think about. So that's what we tell ourselves anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot to think about, and if we stretch ourselves more, and I mean, to take Dr. Lisa for example, she talks about menopause, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying when anyone says companies should have a menopause policy, it sounds intuitively right. Yet in reality, you're going to get a lot of pushback or a lot of not done. That's not it.
Yes.
And so, and even when they go the extra mile to make these things even statutory,
Mm-hmm.
the take up the shot, the execution, the application, the implementation.
Yes, don't start me any on that. We'll never finish the show tonight.
Right. The reason I use Lisa as perfect example of menopause is that most people in menopause have a family.
Yes.
Which often includes a tortured man.
Oh goodness, yeah. We shouldn't laugh about this.
We shouldn't, but it's what it is.
Man is forgotten.
Yeah, it's not just forgotten, it doesn't exist. So if you can tell an employer, have you thought of your middle-aged men whose wives are in menopause, for example? You might the look you get. I can just imagine that.
Yes.
Look, if we look at paternity, for example, where there are laws, you're talking 10% of men take paternity leave. 30% is a norm, and that's in US and UK. 13%. That's 13 in 100 men will take paternity leave.
Yes.
That's where it is, even at where it is it's available. That's what I'm looking for, right?
Yes.
So miscarriage leave. I did.
10 days.
What
10 days. That's what
it
currently is. 10 days.
Your men will take their
Paternity
leave after miscarriage. And after miscarriage, how many do? How many men will raise their voice?
How many know that they can actually do that to begin with?
Exactly.
Because it's not so straightforward, right? Let alone then doing that without the fear of. So back in 2021, 22, I did a survey, and 33% of men said that the whole idea of being able to even speak about this at work, 3% of them said they were afraid. There's the fear of being ridiculed, the fear of being dismissed or not taken seriously, or being told, well, actually, you didn't carry the baby, your wife did. And the truth of the matter is, like I said previously, this journey began with two people. So why do we have one missing when there is serious action and serious trauma happening? You know? So when we think about it, we really have to come together as a community. What I mean by a community is from the healthcare to work environment to a home to being aware, opening your eyes and seeing around you and asking the right questions. You know, how can we help you? What's practical for you today? And sometimes they don't even need to speak. You know, it's being able to give and allow that space without making assumptions. Or at least extending the same courtesy that you would extend to their wives and partners. Because, like I said at the beginning of this show, we're humans first of all. We are humans first before we're anything else. And it's about really treating people with kindness, compassion. Some of the other reasons that men feel like strangers in their own home is that real change in relationship dynamics. You have miscommunication that happens and looking for other coping mechanisms, like burying their head at work, taking on more hours than they did before to what they do now. So that really doesn't help anyone being marginalized in the grieving process. And sometimes being gaslit. That's the part we don't look at.
Yeah, the gaslighting thing, you know, I think that's probably what underpins all of this all around, right? In that, I think everyone has a role to play to allow men to maybe be more open about how they feel.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, so, no one's going to be surprised if, you know, I guess the women look at you and say, "What are you crying about?" Literally, you said it earlier. You know, I said that's gaslighting at its highest. You know?
It is.
Why aren't you just getting on with life?
Why are you crying? I'm the one who is carrying the child.
Yes, I'm the one feeling the pain. You know, the baby wasn't even inside. But I think it's about normalizing those feelings. You know, again, as you're talking, I'm realizing, okay, you know, there's a generational angle to it. You know, my son will do what he sees me do, so to speak.
Yes.
I will do what I saw my father do. You know, so eventually, we must break that chain. But that chain, you know, I'm rock hard, so I'm not. You know, this doesn't affect me. So, you know, if it happens to you, I don't expect you to be affected either.
I like what Alubin said. You know, the learning, and that's what you're touching on as well, with regards to what she said. Them not expressing or taught not to express their emotions or feelings.
Yeah. I think though, when we begin to address that, you know, I guess men don't have a problem talking about their feelings. You know, it's who and when, I think. It's when they're given up the opportunity and with the right people. You know, so I was talking to my friend earlier, so he's talking about the death of pubs, how terrible. I'm like, it's all right. I haven't been to a pub, you know, since maybe 20 years ago, right? So I go in there once in a while. Say, but the There's I used to go pub literally every other day when I was younger, right? That was many years ago.
I do.
There were carts on the roads. Let me tell you that for nothing, my friend. A can of Coke was on the
I
pound.
do.
No, that's where most men,
You buy one, get three free.
where men to talk, right? So now, those sort of places almost don't exist. I guess which is why it's what makes your work.
They've been shut down.
Important.
They have been shut down.
They have.
Whereas I think we as women, we can have a conversation anywhere down the Sainsbury's aisle. You can go shopping and find the whole meeting happening in the aisles. Happening in the aisles. People walking past trying to either eavesdrop or wondering what these people doing, just stood there, blocking access to my to my shopping I'm trying to do.
It's not just women. I think the elderly have found a way to have conversations anywhere they like as well.
Oh yes, that was standard practice. I mean, you have to understand, as your generations evolve, progress. There were certain things, certain, behaviors that were standard practice. Everybody did that, But as time has gone on, they were slowly and carefully dropping those things up. And also, you hit on something that I've already, I've written about tonight, and it's that thing of life has changed so much. Life has become so much more. It's become busier than it used to be, right? And so much more intense. And no one seems to have time. The other aspect is most people have got their heads buried in social media, right? They're going to social media to go and ask for that support, that help from, guess what? Other humans, when they have humans in close proximity. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's another one. I guess the flip side of the social media conundrum is that we have many more friends than we had before. Technically, we do.
Not this again.
Friends. Yeah.
Friends.
Well,
how many? Okay, let's put it this way. How many hours in a day do we have?
24.
24, right? And how many of those thousands of friends do you get to speak to or with in a 24-hour slot?
Me personally, or our friend? Are you asking our friends in the audience?
You and I'm asking the friends that in the audience and yourself too. When we say yes, we have thousands of friends, how realistic is that? And can you bear your soul and your pain to those thousands of friends?
Welcome, Mr. Curtis. I see the legend.
Yay! He made it. Happy New Year, Curtis.
I don't see him on my stream yard yet.
It's good to see you. I can see him.
Right.
Oh yes. Curtis, come and join us in the studio. Don't hide behind the scenes.
And I think I like this point. Women don't know how to allow room for men to have these feelings. Indeed, Curtis. When men do, they get gaslit for not being a man, and then suddenly the conversation takes a whole different twist, right? But as a result, it can be difficult and different from women to take hold of the idea that men are hard.
I hear that.
Yeah. The question you asked Christiana. Well, you can come back to this in a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, I take my friends online very seriously.
Yes.
Friends. See, because I truly believe I have real friends. I really I do. I've spoken to you today. I've spoken to at least 3 other people from my LinkedIn network today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most days, I live. I feel like I live with those people, really, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, I don't know, I think they see the online thing almost as if it's a sales platform. So I don't know if I can't sell to you, I'm off. It's a weird way of being. So whereas I think we can slow down and
Mm-hmm.
maybe to be ourselves. There's a semblance of people not being their true selves online. They come for a short time.
Yes.
In their mind, they're here for a bit, for a reason.
Mm.
And they log into to do their posts, do some commenting, and that's it. I say, but other people, I think for me, I don't see it as that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
And maybe part of me hopes humanity will begin to see the online space as real.
Mm.
To talk about IRL in real life.
Yes.
I said the online was not. It's not real life. Right? It has to be real life. Surely.
A lot of it is because people play out what they are going through for some, their views, their perspectives. So it is somewhat real, and for some people, they're not putting the truth or reality on their social media. You know, so it kind of it swings both ways.
It's both extremes. I agree with you on that one. And so sometimes definitely I say I'm as guilty. Maybe I'm as guilty as anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I no, I'm not going to bring all my little annoyances or issues
Hmm.
to the
The table.
unnecessarily. No, but I think this is why I like Curtis. Like Curtis it does serious talk, and
Mm.
conversation will bring.
That's what
Know,
I'm thinking.
it will
Curtis,
bring.
he and I need to meet. He and I need to actually have a conversation. He and I need to think of how we're going to, I guess, do stuff this year.
I wonder if even that his lives are restarting. I wonder.
He might run away from me. I think no. We,
Nah,
only men allowed.
no. Well, there's I mean, again, that's part of the dilemma we have. I mean, we need more truth telling, not performing, right? So a lot of people
Mhm.
come to perform. Again, I'm sure we're all guilty of this. I'm sure at one time or another, right? But I think I've learned just to be, just to
Yes.
be, and maybe because of what I do and saying I wouldn't I publish books. If you haven't got a book, no point me to about a book. How much money they're like, you can get them. I'm saying I can't get them to do anything. If they haven't got a book, I can't
There's
help
no
them.
point.
If they haven't got a book idea, no one talking about a book. you know, and no assessments, no tool, no sales pitch going to make someone magic up a book and suddenly say,
Yes.
yeah, you write a book that it's never crossed my mind, right? I'm not, so I think I think people who do come here to be themselves,
Hmm.
they can find support, they can find a voice,
Yes.
yeah,
I hear you.
which can help. And I guess we should applaud. Whereas so many of us think, oh, why are you drowning? Why are you moaning again? Why are you complaining again? Why are you on a downer again? Right?
Mhm.
Again, I will qualify all this by saying there's a difference between sharing your challenges,
Mhm.
uh, as opposed to drowning in your own misery. There's a real difference.
Yes, there is. Absolutely, I agree. Sorry,
Uh,
Annie. I think I have a lash in my eyes. Ridiculous.
I think some people just they're happy to dwell in their own misery, and that just turns people off. Whereas I think sharing your challenges, with an aim to maybe find something, some
I have a
solace.
question though. Let's think about this for a moment.
Go for it. What's your
You
question?
said they want to drown in their own misery.
Yes.
The reality is, first of all, are they aware that that's what's happening for some? Secondly, what is the reason? So we always have to look at not the symptom, but the root cause of that symptom, right? So what you're speaking of is a symptom. Symptom. What is the reason behind that, or underneath that, rather? When you literally go deeper, why is that happening? Is it because they truly deep down feel that they're not able to share, or they might sound like this, or if you go and look at the history in the past, they may have uttered some words, to shed light on what they're going through. And perhaps they may have been dismissed, shut down, marginalized, belittled, or not even been noticed. And so they take on board that, something, I'm just going to be in myself and live in my own misery and not share it. Because what the other person says, oh, yes, I'm listening, but genuinely, they may not be listening, right? Because there is listening. So when I see people that do that, my first go to isn't, oh, the person being miserable. I really have to scratch this over and go deeper and ask myself the question, why is that? Why is that? Are they displaying that behavior? Is it because they've had past experience or something? And when you really get to the foundation, the bottom of it, you get to find there has been an experience, an exposure that has brought them to that point where you're not experiencing them as perhaps somebody new or somebody continuous in your life. So yes.
Look, I accept your question. I think our friends in the audience, they say feel free to share your thoughts, right?
Yes.
Now, I look at it from many different angles, right? But when I talk to a friend about an issue or a challenge I have,
Mm-hmm.
a friend wants you to listen and think and find a solution. Are you
Mm-hmm.
with me? I want you to find the answer, whatever the answer is. Is there an answer? Maybe not always. But they want you. They want the next time they see you,
Mm-hmm.
they hope that you're going to have, you know, a different perspective. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
So they hope you
Sorry.
have a different perspective, a different. You be in a different place, right?
Yes.
And even if I look at those people who go to pubs, for example,
Mm.
yes, you talk out your problems with other men,
Mm.
and then you find a way out, a way forward.
Yes.
Whatever that looks like, and that could be based on what we shared, what we did share. It could be
Mm-hmm.
based on what's like. So, but either way, finding your way back to your usual self is what they're looking for, right? That's
Of
why
course. Yes.
that's what friends do. I think
Absolutely.
I think Allah is the same. This is the problem with people who are maybe depressed, maybe inherently unhappy.
Hmm.
Now, this is what will turn people off because nothing you say is going to make a difference,
Mm-hmm.
even if that's just how it feels. Because every day feels like groundhog. You
But,
see
but
you know,
sorry, I do believe that sometimes men suppress their feelings and their grief to meet other people's expectations, whether that's a work expectation, whether it's a at home,
mm,
or whichever spaces they occupy within their networks. That's one thing that happens. And research actually shows that. It shows that 56% of men experiencing baby loss reported returning to work immediately, right? Immediately. And for women, I know I've had a client who returned to work 2 days after a miscarriage. But think about it. Men do not take a day off. They'll just go to work the next day. Partly because they do want to be able to, for some men who've said to me, I'm not sure if I stop and take time off, if I'll fall apart at the seams. And that comes from a fear of how to handle their own emotions, not knowing what it's going to look like. Because for some, they've never been able to or never been allowed to do that, to really feel deep, true emotions. And so when the opportunity comes up, it's like, oh my God, I'm not sure, what do I do? How do I, what's going to happen? And so they suppress it and think, okay, I'm going to focus more on work. I'm going to do all the overtime content, because there is still that air of stigma attached to males being honest, being open, being sure of themselves, being able to express their emotions, being able to say, actually, I'm not okay. And for us to say, it is okay to not be okay. We say it to women easily. We easily, in fact, we say it all day to women. It is okay to not be okay. You know what, girl, take some time out but with men, like, oh, okay, what's that about?
It's appropriate. How are you? And you don't really want an answer.
Right? We ask you, how are you? We just want to hear, oh, I'm fine, thank you. All is good, all is well.
Thank you. Anything else, it's like, what?
I would smile, right? Whereas with women, we say, how are you? Like, girl, how you really, really doing? Right? Who asks a man, how are you really doing, bro? There was a in recent years, I think probably a year or 2 years ago, a men's, I think it's a men's group. I can't remember where I saw that now. They gave a task, okay, to men to ring another male, so a friend of theirs, the closest friends, the one they thought was their best bud, to ring them and just say, you know what, bro, I love you, man. Right? And when that task was given, you could see the sheer panic on the man's face to begin with, right? To begin with, there was a sheer panic. Oh my goodness, I've got to do what? To another male? What's that all about? But the worst part was then having to have that person who's carrying out the experiment to say, whilst you make that call, we want to listen to the response on the other side. And the response on the other side was even worse. So the response was, bro, are you okay? Are you well? No, but seriously, are you feeling okay? You're telling me you love me, man. What's happened? Right? And the person had to the other side, the person who is, I would say the guinea pig in this situation,
Recipients of love,
had to say, I know I don't say this a lot often, but I wanted to say this today to you because it matters. And then you heard literally, I obviously listened to watched the whole program, and you just hear the male on the other end still trying to quantify in their mind what's really going on, baffled. What just happened? Oh, yeah, yes, of course. Yeah, man, me too. And the person having to say, are they going to say it back to you? But we have to really understand this is how society have raised our men.
Yeah.
Okay. And society. We have got to change it. And what I find is it's a lot, and I'm sure if Curtis was still here, he will back me up on this. we find that women are the ones who start the journey to
It's
bring
our,
men
mo-
in,
our mothers. It's our
right?
mothers make look, let's walk
Let's see Justin.
I'm
Hi,
liking just
Justin. Happy New Year. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for joining, for being here.
the stigma is an issue, the stigma of men.
It is a very yes.
Everybody
Yes.
says their emotion. I say it's whom and when, and whether it's the right person, like you're saying, to your best friend, how would they respond?
Yes.
Yeah, so men, as a man, I think as a man, actually, I have no problem sharing my emotion. You may tell me it's not just me, say, oh, it's just me. Yeah, I'm sure it's not tonight. So yes, there's such subjectivity in how people respond as well, right? There really is. It's hard to sort of work out like when to share.
Yes.
I would agree with you though. There is. It's how we're brought up that brought us here. Yeah. So Alvin says it's difficult to do something without a role model where nobody has taught us how to do it. Yeah, true.
But if you don't see it, how are you going to know? Right. Thank you for that, Alavine. If you don't see it, how are you going to know what it looks like?
We need to be empowered enough to break the chains. We need to break the chains. If all we're doing is replicating our parents' trauma, we're in trouble. I truly believe we're in trouble. We're doomed. I go as far as to say that truly. Whereas I think let's say as a father, I've got to say I realized I can't raise them the way I was raised necessarily. Maybe that's a bit harsh.
But it's a very different time as well. So sorry to put you off. It's very different times. Things have changed, and the way that you thought back then isn't the way that your children are going to think.
Exactly. That's why I say we can break the chain. We have to break the chain. We have to find our parents didn't enjoy not being able to express themselves. Living in the world that Levin talks about, men reason, women feel. No, men feel. Men feel
too.
Feel to every day.
That's the point we're making here, right? Men do feel, but it's whether or not they, number one, they feel that they're able to express that feeling. Number two, if they're given the space, the time, and the place, and the non-judgmental space is what I'm going to say, because that's where the stigma comes from. It's the judgment in the undertones of comments that are made, or snide remarks, or sometimes it is said in jest. You know what they say? Many true words said in jest. It is said in jest, but has an underlying meaning under it. And so when men look at that or hear that, that literally shuts them down. And because the work the work I do in my practice, I've heard men say that, they're just okay, I know, but ultimately it does hurt. But I couldn't tell them that it does hurt me. I just have to shrug it off. Let's not shrug things off. Let's not keep allowing our men to shrug things off, because the downside of this and the other serious side of this is the aspect of suicide that we don't talk about. That's reality, right? And that's the importance. And as Justin said, labeling. Yes, the labeling is what creates and further cements the stigma that men experience. And we walk around we do walk around as if we are either unaware. We are aware, but there are choices. And here's the thing I'm going to say, and maybe people may not agree with me, but whether you take action or inaction, you're making a choice.
Yeah. No,
you can make a choice to correct and to do better if you know better.
Yes. Well, I think so again, there's many parts to this. Justin, you're hitting all the nights, my friend. We have moved on a little. And yes, people know we feel that we feel pain.
Mm-hmm.
But what we get is the gaslighting instead. And
Yeah, the different form.
I don't know how, there's no other way of saying it.
Mm-hmm. Justin, it takes a different form. So when back when things happen, you ask them, is it me or is it? It's not so blatant, not so expressive, but it's a different form, and that form is, like I said, the
Oh no, I haven't lost your sound.
Hello.
No, you're still there. I thought I lost your sound.
I did for a second. I don't know why.
Yeah, I knew you panicked.
So yeah, so it's the quiet, the oh, this is subtle, but it's not so subtle judgment that's made that we
Yes.
have to really be aware of, and also to call it out, because that's the other part, right? When I speak about inaction means that you're implicit in the behavior,
Yeah.
because you're not taking any action means you either agree with it or you lack the boldness to speak up or challenge things. That's so important for the men. I'm not saying speak for them. I'm saying be that person. Be that person that will have their back,
I agree.
in these circumstances,
Hmm.
and talk
Well,
it through. I mean, I go through so many different exercises, in terms of when it comes to couples having that conversation and allowing each other to speak. Yes, there's lots of things we do, and being able to hear each other. So I agree with what Justin is saying. It's a consciousness. So we think about how human mind works. We are mostly in our subconscious, right? And that's what comes out. Oh, Curtis is back. Yay. Yes, it's a conditioning. I do agree. Yes, it's a conditioning.
Also, ultimately, everyone loses
Yes.
when we just replicate. Yeah, when we live our conditioning, we're not dogs. We're not. We don't live by Pavlovian theories. Where if you do X, then we do Y. As Justin said, the world is changing. We've changed a little.
Yes.
Men,
Yes. This is true.
So my relationship with my son is so far from what I was told you're meant to have. Relationship with your children. And from what
I agree.
from what I had. And it had to be right. We have to make a choice. Was it you that said it earlier? I think it's funny what I would say things that come around to being the thing. I think this really is about. It's also about men reaching out for help. It's about men being able to
That's the other part.
stand up and say, "I need help."
Okay, I'm going to. I hear that. I do hear that. I do hear reach out for help. But how do you, when it is not made so readily or easily available, or you've been able to, how do you, perhaps we need to start teaching that, teaching how to reach out for help, what considerations you should make for yourself to reach out for help. I have in my practice certain questions that I ask, especially the male, to help them to build the confidence to ask for that help, because it doesn't always come easily.
As Justin says, the choice is limited and fragmented. And
Yes.
that's the issue. That's a real problem we have. And the help is out there. So people like you exist. You know, and this, and look, our friends exist, our family do exist, and
Yes.
professionals do exist.
What I also do encourage is where you find that that help that you're looking for is inaccessible, find the courage to start that thing. Be the person that pulls others in, pulls others together. You know, set it up, do something. It's really important because not only do you get to help others, you get to benefit too. And I'm confident in saying that this is the reason why I began this. You know, 6 years ago now, I was looking for answers. I wanted something different. They said, "Oh, go to therapy." I tried the therapy thing, and it did not work for me. The thought of someone sat in front of you asking you, "Oh, how did that make you feel? How did that make you feel?" With no real answer, with no real solution at the end, or light at the end of the tunnel, more importantly, I had to go and find my own way
Yeah.
to help others. And this is why we're here today,
Hmm.
right? So if you find in a space where you're not able to do that, create one. If you need help to create one, let me know. Create one.
Yes, I like how Alavin puts it. You know, we need to break free. So breaking free requires us to discover our chains,
Mm-hmm.
finding the keys, and having the courage to use that key. Yeah, there are options, there are solutions. And Justin, I love what you say that locality can perpetuate relational connections. You know, look,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I said earlier, you know,
Thanks, Justin.
we have online friends who can definitely help. I think
Mm-hmm.
there's also things in your community. There's people, you know, around you. Read,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
There is.
unless you live in isolation, which very few of us really do. I'm saying, no, it's long past COVID. Christian. We need to get back to living online and offline. You know,
Yes.
and using that magic thing called a telephone. Make a call, right?
That's something that we definitely need to change. It needs to change, especially in the world now where
Hmm.
nobody wants to come to telephone. And I'm going to turn my attention to the younger generations coming up, where they struggle to maintain a telephone conversation. It's almost painful, and anxiety sets in. It's like, telephone conversation with, an adult. What's that? Why are we doing this again? Remind me. Is it necessary? The truth is, yes, it is necessary. It's really, really, really important that we learn to talk, because when we don't have guys that cannot speak, we end up having more serious problems and an increase in mental health issues. Serious, severe mental health issues.
No one has to suffer by themselves these days. Really not.
Hmm.
Really not. Yeah, I say, we know the issue. You know, we know the challenges of trying to get help.
Mm,
That's out of reason. It's a choice we have to make at the end of the day. You know, and maybe our task is to empower men to reach out. Yes, of all the things
yes.
we can blame, we can put it on others to not offer, to not be amenable. But deep
Hmm.
down, we have to do what we know is right for us. Right? Anyway, look, we do have to go. Our time's come to, an hour and a half is more than enough.
Yes. So yes. So like I said, let me second.
Okay. Where are we?
So Justin says Talk.
Yeah, I like that.
He wants more. Thank you so much, Justin.
Saying,
I love the
don't,
photo, by the way. His hat. With his hat on his head. I love that. That's just you can tell. He can tell the kind of person that's just being himself, no matter
yeah,
where he is. It's like
yeah.
don't care. Love the hat. It's great to see. Please do
Just
come and join us next time, Justin and others. So, like I said, this month, and possibly going into February, is dedicated to men. You know, men, miscarriage, baby loss, pregnancy loss, men and grieving, men and being strong when they really need to have the, pillars around them to uplift them, to keep them sane, more importantly, to encourage them, to support them, to be more compassionate, empathetic, to allow the space for them to really process that pain. Let's not forget that the way that men process pain of this sort of trauma is different to how women process the same trauma. And that's the other thing as well. We cannot compare. We must not draw comparisons. It is not a competition because that quickly puts in a division and we risk breakdown in relationships as a result because we haven't been kind and sincere enough to give or allow the space and place for men to be able to be themselves, right? Be themselves. Because wanting to talk about this and bringing their emotions and expressing themselves, that is them being themselves. There's no trick here.
yeah.
There is no trick here. It is them being their authentic, natural self. So allow them to do that. Whether you're the shoulder to cry on, or you want to run errands for them, or you just want to sit in a room and quietly. I will use the biblical, scriptures here in Job, when the devil decided to deal with Job, and the devil said to God, I will do everything there is to do on this planet negative and horrible to Job. And the only thing that God asked for was for the devil to leave Job's mental health. It says, leave his mind alone. His mind is mine. Right? And what happened was he took away, he killed all of his family, livestock, and so many things that was lost. And Job kept trusting in God. But one thing that was also key was his friends came round and they sat with him in that pain. There were no words uttered. Sometimes there was nothing said. Whilst his wife was busy saying to him, just give in to the devil and let this madness end. And with him still trusting, his friends came round and they sat with him, sometimes in silence, waiting for him to lead the conversation or lead perhaps lead what was going to happen next. And so I say this to say to you, sometimes men just need the space to be, to just have that conversation, or just to be heard without any interruptions, without any ask, just to be. I will leave you with that thought tonight. We haven't even scratched the surface on this topic, for an hour and a half. We haven't, but there's more to come. Join us in 2 weeks' time, the same time. We're always here every other Thursday, fortnightly, on a Thursday, 7 p.m. GMT. And how is it I can help you with this particular trauma, baby loss, miscarriage and baby loss? I really work with men and women and couples. to help them in getting clarity as to what options they move on to next. But in between that, the real work that is done is unlearning all of the negative things and beliefs we hold, relearning how to truly communicate, and learning new things in terms of hint tips to move forward. Toolbox for you to be able to gain that confidence so that when you show up with your healthcare practitioners, you can say, actually, I know my body and this is what I want, or this is exactly what options I want to go for. And there is the other part, which is the preconception stage. For employers, I help you to ensure that your policies, number one, are effective, that you're putting in place to support those that are experiencing this trauma, that you're fostering the right, environment. So it is easier, it is more normalized to talk about miscarriage and baby loss in the workplace. I even help you to write your policies if you need me to, right? I do also offer workshops, and I offer training, I offer support, I offer, lunch and learn sessions, speaking engagements for employers with women, men, and couples. I offer one-to-one and group coaching. So watch out, the next month, few weeks or so. I've got some things coming up that I'm going to be looking forward to you guys showing up for. So thank you once again for being here, for always being in this community and supporting us. We do really appreciate you, and we don't take you for granted.
Yeah. Important conversations, Christiana. Thank you so much. Someone's got to bring them. I just set up and support, right? Just I can't ignore your comments.
That right now. Yes, I was just reading this comments right now on my phone.
As I argue this, the space in between the understanding of women's trauma and identity.
Yes, it is.
Conceptualization is much more detailed than that. It is, right? I'm not sure many women experience pain. I'm not sure. Is it different? I don't know. I'm a psychologist, but I don't think we don't understand enough about us.
I do take on board from his perspective the behaviorism and masculinity part of what he's saying. But when it comes to men being confined to understanding of criminology. So let's think about that for a moment. I mean, we could talk about this in another topic next time. Time. There's a lot.
Talk about next time. Next time, shall we?
Sorry?
I said let's talk about that next time.
Yeah.
Even the concept of masculinity.
What that looks like. Because nowadays we hear things like women have masculine energy, men have more feminine energy. So
masculinity has changed. It has evolved. If you ask me, we're in a better place. And so what does that really look like? What does that mean? And how does it show in our behavior? Justin, we need you in the studio next time, my friend.
Yes, thank you so much, Justin. Come and join us next time.
I tell you what, Justin, it's easier if we're connected. That's the
connect to us. Reach out to us, Justin. Connect to us, and it will make so much more sense for us to talk that way, because it's easier on LinkedIn to do so.
Yeah, there's that 6 degrees of separate. This is the first level, second level, third level on LinkedIn, right? So I'm sure we'll have a look. Christiana will certainly have a look and see whether she can connect with you, and then if it's possible, we'll do so. It makes talking easier. There are times when LinkedIn doesn't allow you to talk to someone, because in their eyes you're too, you're not within that 3 degrees of separation.
But Justin, send me a connection request.
Yes.
That's
Sure.
fine. He says lunch. Lunch.
Yeah. Right. Sounds
And
like you.
he also has an LLM. Yes.
Which part of the US are you, my friend?
Who?
What?
Justin?
Yeah, okay, lunch suggestion PST. So
Hmm.
I said, yeah, I can think that, right? Love it the best for me. Oh, you're too nice. But thanks to you, Justin. Thanks to your comments as well. Now that we'll be able to talk more.
Thank you so much, Justin. We appreciate you.
I look forward to meeting you, my friends.
Yes,
Christiana,
definitely.
everyone that's joined us today, thank you so much. Now, happy
Thank
New
you,
Year.
thank you, Alevine. Thank you, Justin. Thank
Yes.
you, Curtis. Thank you,
Yes.
JJ's already gone. Thank you, Zion.
Yep.
Thank you,
I appreciate you.
Nikki. Nikki's gone too.
So,
Thank you, everybody for joining
I
us.
appreciate
We
all of you.
appreciate you.
And of course, now our YouTube friends, do comment, do
Yes,
like,
our YouTube friends, do
comment,
comment and share. Share. And also would like to actually let us know any topics you want us to discuss on the show. Please send us a DM, send us a message to let us know what topics you want to discuss on here, relating obviously to miscarriage and baby loss. That would be great.
And I say that you're welcome to join us in the studio. Now, if you suggest a comment or a topic, if you suggest a topic,
Come and join us.
strongly about it, we'd love to have you in the studio to come and make your point, right? We'd love to come to add to the conversation because I think that's courteous from our side.
Yes.
So we'd love to have you here in any case. You have something to share on the topic. Whether you think people agree or disagree doesn't matter really. As long as we have a conversation that you want to have, we'll learn something, right? But I'll say, my friends, do enjoy your night.
Take care. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, Justin. Bye.
Every second forward is a new beat for your drama. She's success with Global.Media.com and celebrating with or without champagne or rum. She's success with Global.Media.